So, Jeskai turns. Jeskai control. Jeskai winning the game with Giant Dragon. So, there are a number of different ways to get Lorehold into play ahead of curve in this format. There's Reanimator builds, there's Transmogrify, there's Indomitable Creativity. This build is basically trying to do it in as honest of a way as possible. So we've got 4 copies of Coldsteel Heart, we've got 4 copies of Chandra, so we've got 8 pieces that help us ramp here. And then, we've got Clarions and Rip Aparts and Lorehold commands that can help us just interact with our opponent so we can live to cast this card. So all things considered, this is basically a Jeskai ramp deck / control. And one kind of adorable thing that I've done here is the Royal Scions might seem like a weird card, but this deck's playing 27 lands plus 4 of these, so the card selection on this is good. Decks like this can be prone to flooding, so drawing a discard is good. And 2, if you give Lorehold +2 attack, it can cast Alduin's Epiphany out of your deck. So we're playing Royal Scions because Royal Scions lets Big Daddy Dragon find extra time warps out of the deck. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it feels. Interested to see if the controlling elements of this can keep us alive consistently to cast our 7-drop, or if this just feels worse than the builds that are cheating it into play faster. You added Settle the Wreckage. That's probably fine. I don't know, the problem with Settle the Wreckage is that, you're never going to get anyone with it in an open deckless tournament because that deck doesn't have any instant speed cards, so you, telegraph it to hell and back. It's just, super, super obvious when you're, getting ready to cast that card. Jacko, thanks for the follow. Lost a big wide creature deck. Sure, you can't beat everything, though. And, the reality is, you're going to add a couple of Settle the Wreckage to your deck, and you're probably still bad against those creature decks. So I'd rather just punt the matchup. But one thing a whole new generation of players are really going to have to learn is people keep asking me, stuff like that, right? They're like, Jeff, how does Dead Guy Ale win matchup X? And it's well, you don't. You just, hope to get a little bit lucky, you hope they stumble, or you hope to dodge the matchup, right? There's, if you ask me, Jeff, what are the range of decks in Historic right now? I could list you 2 or 3 dozen decks that you could expect to play against in this format, and it's okay to pick 2 or 3 of those decks and be okay, I'm bad against those decks. It's fine. It's fine to have bad matchups. Being lucky is busted. I expect it to be nerfed next patch for sure. Hey, Agent 23, thanks for the prime, welcome back. And Jocko, thanks for the follow. Hello, youngest son. How are you enjoying your 3-day weekend? Spell what?
Simulator.
Destroy Planet Simulator. Chat, should I be worried?
No.
That doesn't come up with anything. That's probably a good thing that doesn't come up with anything. I'm gonna go tell my family I love them. Alright, since Declan walked in here, I'm gonna show y'all a picture now. Where is it? What picture? You should come look at this too. So Declan fell asleep on the couch last night. And I came downstairs this morning, and there's a Declan buried under there, I swear, sleeping. But this is how I found him in the basement this morning after he fell asleep on the couch last night. He was on the couch to begin with, I promise.
I probably would. I probably just fell off.
You did probably fall off. I agree.
I didn't see when.
Did my Gruul opponent just make no plays on turn 3? That's so good for me. X Failure, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome to the channel. Wouldn't be here without folks like you. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, so I'd rather have these time warps in my deck, right? So I think we're gonna put this back, and we'll put the Hallowed Fountain back, and then we'll fetch... play Royal Scion.
I lead the way, but my brother knows our path.
They could have a bunch of questing beasts in hand. That's like no joke.
Is to triumph.
I don't have any double white cards in this deck, right? I'm gonna cheat and look at my deck list on Cardboard Live. Yeah, zero double white main decks. So I'm gonna discard the Triome here. This isn't an infinite Time Walk deck. It is a sufficiently large enough finite Time Walk deck. So we can take extra turns, and usually we just take like 2 or 3 and kill them with a dragon while taking those turns. We are just starting with this one, Kelvin. Yeah, a bunch of questing beasts in hand was a good estimate. Hey, well, welcome. Thanks for watching. Good to see you in chat. Make sure you pop in the subs Discord server as well. Hang out with the rest of us there. Any thoughts on Sarkhan over Scions to get to Lorehold faster? That's an interesting thought. We're playing Scions because giving 2 extra attack means you can hit the 7 mana Time Walk. Is the loose idea, at least. Alright, do I live through 2 more attacks to cast this dragon and I discard the Rip Apart and play the lands out? I think that's the plan. Nah, not anytime soon, JMP. It's tough to do evening streams because... Or it's tough to justify doing evening streams because my viewer count in the evenings are so much worse because it's not my normal stream time. So, like, I'm planning to stream this weekend, for example, but it's going to be during the day. Nice, nice. Alright, so we... It could be right to just hold up command tier and like make a 3/2 to block and then deal some damage or something. It's a little bit worse against Cleave though. Hey, never not dead to Cleave.
Burnt hair smell?
We'd have been dead to Cleave this turn holding up Lorehold Command too, so that's what it is. Nah, I think blue-red Niv's too slow and too fair and slow for this format. They have second questers in here, we're dead to that too. Dead to turning on Clothis. Well, we understand why they didn't have a play on turn 3, chat. Their hand was the Stone Cold Nuts. Yeah, viewer count didn't matter once you're partnered on Twitch. Yeah, so like, viewer count doesn't like directly pay that much, but in terms of like exposure and optimizing that, there's value in that, Charizard. So like, and it's like if I can only stream at a time where viewer count is lower, like streaming is better than not streaming. But like if it's a decision to like stream during the day when my viewer count is consistently higher versus stream in the evening when it's not, I'd rather pick the time when it's higher, obviously. And yeah, selling yourself to advertisers, like I can command more of a rate for sponsored streams when my average viewer count is higher, for example, too. On the business back end. All right, so we're bringing in all of our removal. The question is, this is probably slow and fair. Maybe we trim like one Aldrin's Epiphany. To a degree, HR Beck. Actually, in terms of generating more new subscribers, there is actually value to streaming during lower viewer count times that are off, because like you'll have people catch you in the evening that wouldn't normally catch you during the day, for example. So like there's a lot of factors basically, and there's so many variables that you can't really track if or not. Nah, I'm an adult with 3 children, Charizard James. I can't do both evening and morning streams. Especially like doing a full stream like this. Like I can't be live for 7 or 8 hours, then like take off and then come back and do more. I don't really drink alcohol. I guess I would take a Mike's Hard Lemonade sponsor. In order for me to enjoy alcohol, the alcohol has to be disguised as candy, chat. I'm a fat man who likes sugar. I don't really like the taste of beer. That's actually not bad, right? Because Chandra maybe gets into it. Thanks for the follow, Nature Cold. Good morning. Still morning, right? For a little bit. You don't like that card because you feel like more often or not, I'm letting my opponent draw an extra card. Sure, but you know what's worse than letting them draw a card? Having an answer that doesn't kill the thing that's killing you. Baleful Mastery is super reasonable. Just like Baleful Mastery is good for a lot of the same reasons that Path to Exile is good. How greedy is it to Chandra plus? I think we just do that, right? I think we just like Chandra plus play Coldsteel Heart.
This will be easy.
Yes, exactly what Precipice said. Baleful Mastery is frequently better, just better Vraska's Contempt. And for 2, it can save you from dying. That describes my feelings well. Alright, let's see if we can kill them next turn.
What? My hair is on fire?
My hair is on...
I know.
Her hair is on fire, Chip.
Today's my lucky day.
I think my odds of fully killing them here are low. So my first dragon attack is gonna go at Chandra here.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Goodbye, friend.
I say it's over.
Clarion's really good in this deck. Hey, Never Not DM, thanks for this gift. So didn't win the game on the spot, but still pretty good.
Oh, yep, you're flammable.
Elder Gargoth in their Collected Company deck. It's a bold strategy. Think I'm happy with how we boarded. I'm gonna run it back. Yeah, this card is sweet. My evaluation of this being the playable dragon out of the 5 was on par for sure. Attack before filling Gargoth to see what you hit off the top of your deck. Yeah, if I miss, I lose my dragon, though, Hyper Ninja. Rip apart's a sorcery. Where's Spell Pierce for the Growl matchup? I think that's my favorite meme to spawn on this channel recently. We need more Spell Pierce for the Growl matchup. Hey, thanks for the 13 months, 10 under. Welcome back. Two plays good for us. What's going on, G Marshall? Good morning. When did they make this a 4-4? Yeah, actually got Clarions and Helixes and stuff. What are the odds I want to cycle this? Probably non-zero. They have like a Questerson here. We're going to be in a lot of trouble. I ain't greedy. I'm just going to 1-for-1 this here. Need to find our dragon sooner rather than later. Both this kills us very quickly. Okay. We can beat that one. Okay, guest explore. That was not the dragon I wanted for Christmas, chat. Okay, so I think we rip apart the Brawler, because the Brawler gives itself trample. I can castle to block this. Never not dead to cleave. Oh no, they have 2 spells in their hand, chat. So, I would like to point out that it's strictly optimal to block with my token here. Because by blocking with my token, I go to exactly 2 life instead of 1 life. And going to 2 life means I gain click efficiency and conceding by putting my shock land into play. Because if I was at 1 life, I wouldn't be able to concede the game by paying 2 with my shock. There's some nuance there, but it's important to discuss the optimization. I'm gonna keep this. I know we just played against Skrull, but like, there's been a lot of Gandalfs on the ladder today. This seems fine against your friendly neighborhood Gandalf. This is close. This start could be Phoenix. I think I'm going to keep this on the off chance they're Phoenix. And if they're playing a control deck, we'll just brainstorm this away later. Biggest of brains, chat. Biggest of brains. Crackling Drake for me. Oh, yeah. You know just what I like about it.
You and I are gonna take them out. If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned. Figure it out on your own.
The Dirty 30, the man, the myth, the legend. Day 9 TV, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the 2.5 years, Sean. I was watching you play some Historic the other day. It was great. You were doing terrible things to wonderful people. Sweet. I'm glad you're liking the format. This one, no joke, like, this current Historic format is just like one of the best Magic formats I've ever played. It's such a treat. Sick. Look at that. Okay, so we get to go. Honestly, we put the Time Warp back in our deck, right? Because I want that in my deck to hit with this. We like throw these 2 back. And we like play the fetch land and double Coldsteel Heart here. These decks very rarely have main deck counter magic. So hopefully this dragon's going the distance. Okay, so do I brainstorm the Lorehold command back to the top of my deck to guarantee that we hit, or do I just assume that I'm a professional? Because if I'm a professional and hit the time drop naturally, I can cast this next turn. I think I'm gonna assume professionalism and greed. 7 looks is a lot of looks, chat. Like, it's a lot of looks. Alright, so we get to make a 3/2 and then make our things indestructible. Man, that sounds great. Let's do the time warp again. It's just a hop to the left And a skip to the right. Put your hands on your hips. Do 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 do. Be do do do. Do 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 do. Steady your mind, Rowan. We're 1 point short. Never lucky. Yeah, maybe I should have brainstormed. That's fine. It's fine, chat. They're at 1. I probably should have brainstormed to give us a better chance to get it. We get a card deeper if we brainstorm, technically. Wow, the audacity of killing my dragon. I think my helixes are in the sideboard. Yeah, we got Rip Apart in the main deck. Okay. Oh, wow, they don't have a third spell to bring their bird back. That's so good for us. It was the next card, chat. If we would have brainstormed last turn, we would have hit the time walk. Nothing but professionalism. I suppose they could have another lightning axe here. Oh wow, do they have a second axe? Wow, double main deck axe. And wow, they had a shock. So they could have brought back their Phoenix. We're gonna get the Royal Scion's victory here, chat. It's fine. The Royal Scion's victory is the sweetest anyways. Alright, my go. Hey, Meathead, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
You can conquer Knights of the Realm.
You think you can conquer Knights of the Realm? Rest in Peace sounds lovely. Soul Guide Lantern sounds lovely. It's probably a Mystic Dispute matchup. I recommend this deck overall. If not this one, then something with this card. I think all of the cards in this deck that are rares and mythics are good cards that will go into multiple other decks. So if you think this deck looks sweet, it feels kind of powerful to me so far. I don't think it's a bad use of your resources to build this deck. Rip Apart probably comes out here. I don't really expect them to have artifacts or enchantments that I care about. Clarion's hit or miss. Cleaning up some birds is kind of nice, but like I have Rest in Peace and Soul Guide Lantern to kind of stop birds from happening to begin with. Maybe I don't want these disputes. This probably isn't the axis I want to fight on here. I probably just want to kill their things as they come into play or stop them from happening. I know Scions were like okay there. I think I'm going to trim. I'm gonna trim one copy, though. They don't protect themselves. There's a good chance they get run down in a lot of board states. Rip. I think I bought on that because I have Rest in Peace to keep the Phoenixes. Listen, chat, if you're gonna play Phoenix, I don't know what the optimal Phoenix list looks like, but I feel pretty confident in saying optimal Phoenix isn't blue-red. There's been a teamer list that Zan Saeed has worked on a little bit that looks really good, and we played Jeskai that felt very reasonable. So I don't know what 100% optimal looks like, but I'm pretty sure it involves a third color.
Own your prowess.
Having answers to cards like Rest in Peace is big game. Grixis Phoenix. So, Grixis Phoenix with discard spells doesn't sound terrible. It doesn't give you answers to Rest in Peace, though. Which this card, I think this card is going to see more play. I'm playing 3 or 4 Rest in Peace on my sideboard this weekend. Card's very good in this format. Chuki with the sub gift to Roonies. Good morning to you. Good afternoon. It's afternoon in the cornfields now. It's for the support. All right, so it's gonna be a little windy, but hopefully this will be able to happen eventually. I'm gonna play Dead Guy Ale tomorrow. How does one add a deck to viewer submissions? You can find all the details on viewer submissions on my website here. Step 1 is there is a Google form on my website that you fill out that says what deck you're looking to submit. I accept most things, but occasionally someone submits something that I'm like, I don't think that could work, and I don't want to do it. I think I've actually rejected only I think it's 2 out of 3 dozen deck lists I've been submitted this season. Yeah, I'm playing in the Insight Esports 5K tomorrow, which is an open entry tournament. So if you want to play in a historic 5K, it is a $20 entry fee. You can sign up on MTG Melee. I'll be live on a 10-minute delay tomorrow playing that with the Dead Guy Ale deck. Aether Gust, temporary solutions to permanent dragons. You want to read the Moto thing from that command? Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Can a mod update the submit deck command to remove Moto and just say arena submissions are $50? Appreciate you all. All right, do they have axe number 2, the Electric Boogaloo? Do I... The problem here is... So the command is not a draw 2 because there's a Narset in play. And the way this works is even if I deal damage to Narset, I think I want to make my thing indestructible, right? If they have a shock, I get into trouble is the problem. Command plays around shock. And it lets me kill their Narset so I can cycle my land next turn. I think I do this to have I think this gives me the best chance to get another attack with this Lorehold. And on the off chance they do still kill this, they have a lightning axe next turn, I can cycle this then because the Narset's gone. He topped a card, that's scary. I'm gonna try and clear the Stormwing entity here. Fetching means I'm worse off if I draw exactly Brainstorm, but... Yeah, tapped out's fine. Goldfish, tapped out, Scryfall, any of those are good. Alright, let's use some tire spin and looking for another dragon here, huh? Chandra would also be a decent pickup. Well... And rather than sacking a land to draw 2, I'm going to make a 3-2 and then just scry at my upkeep with this. Because the plan. We're only through one of our dragons, right? Or we're through 2 of them. Yeah, this is basically a draw 2 and it gives me a threat. Rude. Hey, ZX, thanks for the follow. Just take a, this is a redraw, right? It's technically 3 redraws, because I get, look at our tires spin, shit. Professional tire rotation service, chat. What do we do to win here? I mean, there's a bunch of Chandras in my deck. There's three Chandras in my deck, chat. We've got a bunch of cards on the bottom that aren't good at this point. We have 3 Chandras and 2 dragons in our deck. Alright, so there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in the bottom of my deck. So there's 21 cards we don't know. So there's 3 Chandras and 21 cards, and I get 3 looks at them next turn. There's also 2 dragons. Well, I actually don't have enough mana to scry and dragon. Awkward. I think I'm still supposed to scry, because there's 3 Chandras and only 2 dragons. I also have 5 cards in hand, so there's a chance they have a counter spell and all my spinning is for naught. I'm not dead yet.
I am hot, aren't I?
She is hot, chat.
Now you're playing with fire. Guess you don't need me anymore.
But I did still need you, Chandra. You died too soon. Man, lost to the Phoenix deck with Rest in Peace in play. Our threat density here really seems meh. That was rough. I'm gonna bring in Teferi to increase our threat density. The fact that we never found Aldrin's Epiphany kind of sucked too. If we would have found that at any point, we would have been able to put some Dorkos in play. Ruta Bear, thanks for the follow. Someone else compared this to the Mardu Reanimator Dragon deck list we've been playing, and I think this deck is not quite threat dense enough. Having like just Lorehold as your way to win games feels kinda. I think I keep this because their deck seems a little slower post board. Although it could also have just been slower because we Rest in Peace them too. Afternoon, Morbid Rabbit. And Marcarino. We did not play Standard this morning. I think we'll get back to Standard on Sunday. I'm gonna be live on Sunday. Yeah, look, it looks like we'll get to Black White Clerics on Sunday. Sunday. Feeling a little windy. I think we bottomed that with Double Dragon in hand looking for a 7th land. Honestly, it might have been right to just scry looking for the land last turn. Could get Lava Axed here. Other deck's been the day. Both Grixis Control and Sultai mid-range were very good. Sultai Gefnet. Lightning Axe is like really good against our deck. Yeah, I think we're getting axed here. Brutal. Honestly might be the best card in the format against us. Just like 1 mana for our 7 is like an incredible tempo, brutal tempo swing.
Open mind.
Pod Bomb was really bad. We played for like 30 minutes and got beat up 2 or 3 different ways. They left Phoenix back, which would imply they don't have a way to interact with this. I think I want to draw here. Oh, fuck, there's a Narset. Fuck, there's a Narset. We talked about this earlier. Whatever.
I'm not prepared for this.
Yeah. This deck feels way too tire spinny. It feels like I keep getting this into play and then not accomplishing a lot with it.
Mind and body should move and move, meditate and prepare.
We do not. This is not an infinite turns deck. Alright, see if we can dodge an Aether Gust here. Well, I mean, like, so people that are like, I'm just gonna give you a 10-minute timeout for saying, like, I literally, like, peak Twitch chat is saying we're in colors that don't ramp while there's literally a Chandra on your screen. Come on now. Stop it. This deck theoretically can play this card on turn 4. You could argue about the consistency of what that happens and say it doesn't consistently happen, and that's definitely true, but, like, I think I'm bottoming that and just taking the dragon here. I don't know. It's just tough. Like this sucks, right? Like, I have this dragon, but there's a good chance it's just trading for this Stormwing entity, right? Yeah, like here, like I get to cast Time Warp and like take a turn, but then like I'm not doing anything with this turn because Shock was a playable card against my control deck. No, I don't want to play more cards in my deck that I don't hit off of the dragon. This deck already doesn't have enough hits for the dragon. Mana value discount. I have literally, in my 20+ years of Magic, never heard the term mana value discount. So I'm gonna go with Chandra as ramp, and you made that up. Rogue Balloon and Nice, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. Yeah, and like here, right, like we're through 3 dragons at this point, right? So like I'm almost out of win conditions now. Like I'm through dragons and I'm through 3 of my Time Warp. So like even if I find the best possible card in my deck next turn, it doesn't even really do anything.
Hey, over here. Yup, you're going down.
And then I exiled the last one with her. Brutal. So the problem with people that are trying to maximize other big spells with Lorehold Command is like, yeah, there's plenty of other big spells I could cast in this format, but then I have a bunch of big clunky spells in my deck that's trying to stay alive by being a control deck. So like the TLDR is like, we're gonna play at least one more match with this, but it feels to me like the Lorehold with the Time Walks doesn't feel like an appropriate top end for a control deck. It feels like trying to accomplish that with a control deck means that the rest of my deck just isn't very good. Like, I have to pick between being a good taking turns dragon combo deck and being a reasonable control deck, and I can't do both simultaneously. So it's 20 months, Carafe. To be blunt, I don't intend to go back to Runeterra anytime soon. Maybe in a couple of expansions, but Magic's really good, and Runeterra just doesn't generate the gameplay I'm looking for. Their lack of best of 3 with sideboards is like really hard to stomach. Coming back to Magic made me realize that I greatly prefer my card games to be best of 3 with sideboards. I'm supposed to scry it upkeep there. Wow, what is in their hand that just worked? I mean, if they have a lightning axe, I don't know how we win. We have to, like, win with Chandra, because I only have one more dragon. Right? I mean, there's my lady. There's my lady. My lady.
I knew you needed my help. It's playtime.
Butterfly sugar, baby. We do have one White Castle, that's true.
I am out of here.
And people from the Midwest know that White Castle can be deadly. Oh, I did board in Teferi's, that's true. Oh, they're not, Teferi's not particularly good with Narset, right? How many threats are they through? We're through all their Phoenixes. We're through 2 Stormwings, a Crackling Drake. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, lizard on a chair. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Don't you dare mystical dispute me. Two birds and a prayer, chat.
You want to play with fire, huh?
Now, White Castle has had veggie burgers for a long time. White Castle is actually one of the first fast food places to have a veggie burger. They recently added the Impossible Burger to the menu at White Castle. But they've had a bean-based patty before that for a while.
I must train harder.
It's a big boy, chat. Those are large drakes. They are down to 13 cards in deck, by the way. It's hidden behind my camera here. This game's been a slog.
This'll be easy.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, little crackling drake. Do 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 do. I think I actually don't scry at my upkeep. Because I want to be able to cast a dragon off of Chandra. I've got 1 dragon left in my deck. I have 1 Epiphany and 1 dragon in my deck. 10 cards in their deck, chat.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
We need to move quickly.
Okay, so we need to Lorehold draw 2, right? And probably make a token. I could Teferi. Okay, no, this is the play. The play is Teferi. The play is Teferi tuck one of these. And then we can block the other and Helix it. Yeah. This is the line. I could also make the bird invincible to beat an axe or a shock or something, yeah. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, why is it always Eldraine, chat? Why is it always Eldraine? Never not Eldraine. I don't know. I don't think we're on, my helixes are in my sideboard, right? Oh, right. The sideboard interface is bugged. I think my helixes are in my sideboard. Yeah, the spirit on here doesn't have flying. It's not gonna do it. That was a sweet game. That was a sweet game. Should double check here, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing. Yeah, couldn't beat Brazen Borrower. Alright, we're gonna do one more with this before we move on to the next one, but I really need to run to the restroom really quick, so I'll be back in just a minute. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Don't go anywhere. Well, I chose to gain life instead of making a token because the token doesn't fly, and I couldn't remember if I had Lightning Helix in my deck or not. So if I had Lightning Helix in my deck, that was a live draw to kill the Drake to keep us alive there. We actually played Grixis mid-range first thing this morning, and it was excellent. If you like Nicol Bolas, you're going to want to make sure you check out the YouTube video tonight. Mr. Timmy, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a ton of great people who can ship that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it this way this month. I think we want to just Coldsteel Heart on too, right? I don't know how our deck ever. I'm not gonna make Rogues be the last match with this deck. Our deck trying to resolve a 7-mana spell is gonna be close to 0% against Rogues. I'm gonna go ahead and move along and try and find a different one here so we can play another sweet match like the one against Phoenix. Hey, Locke, thanks for the 20 months. Come back. The Grixis deck this morning smoked Rogues. I tried really hard to lose, and the Grixis deck just would not lose. I like it when a deck is able to pull me across the finish line through my mistakes. It's always lovely to see. Look at that, chat. We got ourselves a Gandalf. aim right on here, so if we draw Chandra, we can cast her next turn. Why is it called Gandalf? Because you only play decks like Blue-White Control to feel like a powerful wizard. The Gearhulk variation. I bet the Gearhulk variation's a lot harder for us because they have a way to actually close the game out. These are my birds. These are my birds. So we can technically clear half of Brainstorm with Temple. I guess we can clear with Castle too. Okay. Chandra technically clears Brainstorm as well. Do I want to clear the Cycle land or play a Coldsteel Heart? I probably want to clear the lands off. So we can clear a land with this, then we can scry the other one to the bottom with this. Oh, this is smart. Wizards seems to have managed. I keep an eye on the Magic section on Twitch, and it looks like, in addition to doing the Mr. Beast thing, they've also paid some other big streamers to do sponsored stuff today. That's a good idea on their part. I think I want to play the Fabled Passage out here before we plus Chandra, so that way we can pay for a counter unless they pay one.
Yup, you're going down.
We do still have 2,000 lovely people here. It's great to see. I think we're just... Are we defending Chandra? They could have another Shark Typhoon here. I'm going to pass in case they have a bigger shark. Yeah, sniffed it out. Sweet. We'll want to hold this fetch land in case we draw another Brainstorm. Odds this event crashes arena. Hopefully 0. Oh, yikes. So that is going to kill these, deal 2 to her, they'll kill her. No, the Mr. Beast event is this afternoon. Starts in 15 minutes, I believe. Hey, thanks for the happy year, Stevie. Alright, we could find a dragon and kill them next turn. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, lizard on a chair. Take my dragon. He'll time warp, I swear. Do do. Boo doo 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 doo. Boo doo 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 doo.
I don't need this.
Let's do the time warp again. Okay, so I'm gonna cycle this to start and see what we get. Rip apart. Okay, so now I want to scry to maximize the chance that we get there. And a skip to the right. Do. About a month ago, I was singing Lizard on a Chair to myself in the evening. My wife thought I'd lost my mind. God bless. Rip Apart does kill Gearhulks, which is great. This is lovely. Definitely want Disputes and Strokes against the Gearhulk deck. Want the Lanterns. Do not want these Deafening Clarions. Want the Teferis. I know the Coldsteel Hearts were like okay that game. I think some of them come out here though, right? Do I want Rest in Peace here? Is this good enough? I feel like this probably isn't good enough that I ever want to draw two of them, but like the first one's probably fine, right? This has lower downside because it can draw a card in the event that I don't need the Graveyard Hate. The real meme here would be to deal 3 and then sacrifice our dragon. Yeah, I like this. And a few people have asked me like, Jeff, why do you split Soul Guide and Rest in Peace like this instead of just having a bunch of Rest in Peace? And this is matchups like this are why. The Gearhulk decks that are like, Soul Guide Lantern is very good against the decks that are like half graveyard decks. They like use their graveyard a little bit, but don't depend on it entirely. So like, I don't want to spend a card shutting off their graveyard in a lot of instances, but like this card that can shut off their graveyard when it's good, but cantrip, replace itself, draw another card, but I don't want to shut off their graveyard is nice and flexible. Hey, Wretched Dunn, thank you for the 3rd of the year. Welcome back. Honestly, this card could have potentially been my top 5 list of cards from Strixhaven for Historic. This was real close to being in there. And honestly, if I were to like do that list up again a month from now, it might make the cut depending on how things shake out. This card seems playable in a bunch of different shells. Untapped land here lets us Chandra next turn. Nope, you're wretched. You're wretched done. For the rest of eternity. Listen. Camel casing, chat. If you want a streamer to pronounce your username right, and it's multiple words, and you don't have underscores or camel casing, you have no one but yourself to blame when we mess it up.
Hone your prowess.
Sally or Alice Camel? I'm gonna profess that I don't know the difference between those two. When programming, I usually don't capitalize the first letter. On things like Twitch, I capitalize like the J in Jeff Hoagland. Jeff never says my full name, and I don't know why. I don't know either, Salty. Okay, but like, what if instead we didn't Gearhulk?
You want to go tough guy? This'll be easy.
Keep up the pace.
Great. Do they have a counter? Do they have a counter for Big Daddy Dragon? They need an Aether Gust here, right? Man, it's a real shame. It's a real shame we don't have one more mana.
Today's my lucky day.
Papi! Do 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 do. Rabner subbed for 46 months. Do 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 do. Are we gonna ult the Chandra? Here's hoping. Have a veto here. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Let's light it up.
I don't want my dragon to get its hands dirty. Nice, nice. Seven is a lot of cards. Style points counter your own spell for lethal. Yeah. All right. So thoughts on this. I feel like I want to get rid of... So, like, the original submission had this in it, and I added this to try and make this be something we could hit off of Velomachus here. But I feel like I probably just want to do away with that altogether. I feel like I want to cut both of these and either add an additional threat to the main deck or just go up on cards that this can hit. Honestly, Lorehold Command was like pretty impressive in a lot of the games. A lot of the games that we played. And I feel like I want at least one more of those. What are other 4 and 5 mana things we could play? I don't hate Bonecrusher. That actually sounds like a great suggestion. Yeah, the Reanimator deck that we played got a lot better when... The Reanimator deck that we played got a lot better when we added Bonecrusher Giant, because you can get the stomp path of this off of this, and this is like more early play. I think I like that suggestion a lot. Like, obviously this isn't an ideal hit off of here, but this also solves the problem of needing threat density too. And it's just a good card, right? Like Eldraine cards are good. I like that suggestion. I think that would probably be maybe, and in fact, maybe with this here at the bottom, maybe we trim a rip apart to the sideboard and play a third Lorehold Command that way. This curve looks pretty nice here too. Deck in stone to clear things that block the dragon. Maybe. I think stuff like that. I'd rather have it out of your sideboard. Yeah. Like I think I'd end about here. I don't know. This was fine. I feel like there was this kind of weird tension between like having these in my deck as a combo enabler with the dragon, but then these just kind of being meh as far as the control deck goes. Like we cast a lot of Time Warp, play an extra land, draw a card as an explorer, but I guess at the same time, ramping a land with this to get to this sooner also wasn't terrible. Brazen Borrower is similar utility giant. Yeah, but Brazen Borrower isn't really good against aggro. It's like an evasive threat, which is kind of nice, but like this card is reach. It finishes off things like Narset, for example. And our Brainstorm deck really cares about being able to take Narset off the table. We had a number of Brainstorm stranded in our hand against Narset decks today, and this has the flexibility to be good against aggro too. Yeah, that's fair. It's fair that it's good. It's good with Chandra too. I feel like this is where I'd wrap up with this, I think. Yeah, blocking against Gruul is huge. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, so we've played a Mardu Dragon Reanimator deck. We've played, where is it? We've played this build 2 or 3 times, 2 times since the set release, and this build felt very, very reasonable as well. So if you haven't seen this one's up on my YouTube channel. There's a couple of videos with it, but this one we added Bonecrusher Giant 2 in that, and that felt really good in here. All right, what do we got? What do we got for our last deck of the day? It's only 1 o'clock. I might have 2 more decks today. What's our next deck? We're gonna do at least 1 more. Lurrus Pact. Let's do it. Make chat vote. I promise we'll be back to letting folks at home vote on what decks we're playing.